Hannah here for HRHTV, and I'm with a couple of the guys from Lawnmower Deth. We're all cosy on the sofa. How are we today?
Cold.
Cold.
But it's warmer here now, to be fair.
Yeah, now we're all like snuggled, like penguins.
Birmingham seems to be about 5 or 6 degrees colder than the rest of the UK. Yeah,
Smoggy and foggy. And
It's all the metal going on here.
No, it's just
it
cold.
should be warming it up. It's
just
melting
cold.
and all that. It should be the Peaky Blinders.
I love Peaky Blinders, by the way.
Great.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Haven't watched it yet.
No!
Haven't. It is on my list.
Do you live here?
Stunning.
Here?
Yeah,
Birmingham.
Near, I live...
in this room.
Yeah, in this room. This is my bed that you're on right now.
Cool.
That's weird. Anyway.
But Peaky Blinders.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm going to need to watch that then.
Yeah, stunning.
So this is
And
your...
Sneaky Pete was good as well.
We're still on that. Okay.
Oh, sorry, you got a question now.
I do have a serious question. So this is your first gig of 2017.
Sorry, Peaky Blinders, what? Oh, gigs.
Yeah, gigs. First gig of 2017. How was 2016 for you? You had the first record in 22 years last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't a record, was it? It was a virtual thing.
Yeah.
A virtual
thing.
There was no product.
Yeah, we had a track. We did say we were not going to release anything ever again. It's not very interesting. We don't really want record contracts or anything like that. It's not particularly fun these days. But we did have a track, and it actually became a lot of fun, didn't it? It became a huge amount of fun because...
I mean, I've got a little bedroom studio. When I say studio, it was a PC with some software, and I've always messed about doing that sort of things for mates' bands.
Yeah.
Consumed, I do a few things for as well, things like that. But over the years, I've pieced little bits of my own stuff together and kept sending them out to these lot and say, come on, let's do a song. And there had been zero interest. And I managed to drag Pete round one night, and he got drunk and shouted. And it kind of worked, but it was a bit rubbish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was called Spindle Nude.
Which isn't abnormal for this band, by the way.
Okay.
It's usually quite
we literally just made it. It was literally 2 hours having a few Stellas, and that was it. But then when we actually listened to it again and thought, well, actually, might work. And you got Martin Curtis
Martin, who was in My Dying Bride and Cradle of Filth and all that stuff. Great keyboard player. And what happened was when we had this drunken session at Steve's house, he gave me this little Casio keyboard about that big, and we sat playing with it, and we could hear a keyboard line for it. Not that we've ever particularly used keyboards, but we could hear a keyboard line. And then I said, well, what about Martin? I bet mine would be up for it.
Yeah.
Big Cardiacs fan, and we're big Cardiacs fans. So we kind of had this idea that it might be a Cardiacs kind of thing. So anyway, it just became this bounce around between Steve Martin and I, just passing stuff around in the evenings over Tinterweb.
Yeah.
And suddenly a track came out, and it was ace.
Well, it was kind of a little bit before that, though. We also got the whole Radio 2 thing.
Yes.
Where we said, do you want a jingle?
It's right to your questions.
Well, it came before, didn't it?
ready.
It came before I Am Cop. So there was this whole point where it was like, well, we're going to do a jingle now for Simon Mayo. Brilliant. So that literally was 30 seconds. He sent me like a video of himself playing acoustic and pulling the most ridiculous faces.
Thank you very much.
I have got it on video still, and one day I will release it onto YouTube.
Can we get some demonstrations of the faces?
What am I?
maybe?
I didn't realise the pull faces.
Well, it was like a proper.
You know,
You
that
really-
was concentration.
yeah, it was-
It's only 3 films, but that was concentration.
So he sent me that. I punked it up. We did it, and then you came down to record that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I Am Cobb started to evolve as well a little bit. So we sent that off to Simon May, expect him to say, really, go away, boys. Next minute that was on.
Yeah, cool.
So we kind of...
World exclusive release on Radio 2.
Yeah.
Fancy that. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous, isn't it?
So we like...
And then download, of course, that they wanted
Nothing's
to release
ridiculous.
it.
Nothing's
It is ridiculous in this world.
Everything that
Everything
we've
now.
ever done has been ridiculous and just completely coincidental and
Fortune.
brilliant. Yeah, it's
Good
just
luck.
fortunate.
Do you
It's
think
all
that's
good
part
luck.
of the longevity then?
I think
Really?
the fact
I
that
don't
we had
know.
about
That's-
15, 20 years off.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
you've been
don't-
able to come back and still have that same sort of impact, I think, really.
No, I think we're just belligerent. And nobody's asked us yet. I'm sure somebody will. We were just talking about this before we put the cameras on. Somebody at some point is going to rumble us and just work out we're really quite shit. But so far, nobody said, actually, you are that shit. No. So we keep getting asked.
So where did I'm sure you've had this question loads, but I don't know the answer to it.
Okay.
So where did the name come from? Because it's...
It came from the bottom of a beer glass. What it was, the truth is, Chris, our drummer, was in a band called Scrawl, who were a proper metal, new wave British heavy metal kind of band. And they were pretty good, actually, to be fair. I mean, you know, they were proper full-on metal. But they were great, but they couldn't get any attention at all. They were just another band from Mansfield. And he got really hacked off with it, so he just invented this imaginary name under the influence of ale one night called Lawnmower Deth, wrote to Kerrang and said, right, this is Lawnmower Deth. He made a demo up in his bedroom on his own, which was just noise, and said they were going to tour and listed about 20 false dates. And of course what happened was all the papers started printing it. He was getting loads of mail at home and he went, shit, it's not even a real thing, is it?
No way.
But so that's how the name came about. And then the link was Skit, who was the bass player in Sabbath, and was mates of ours, and we knew all the Sabbath guys because of the Nottingham thing. Skit knew who it was, so he said, oh, it's this guy, and passed us, you know.
So his name. So he said, oh, his name's Chris Flint. So we literally went through the Mansfield telephone directory, phoning every Flint. So is Chris there? No Chris here, mate. And eventually got one. Who is it? He won't know us, but we want to talk to you about Lawnmower. He's a really miserable bastard, and this was his dad. And we were like, oh, okay, come in. He was like, what do you want? He was like, do you want to start a band called Lawnmower Deth? Not thought of it before. And he was like, well, shall we meet up, see how it goes? And like we did, and that was it. We played Saxon covers in your dad's conservatory for 3 weeks.
We played about 90 times.
Really?
Yeah, that's all we played.
And then got a gig. We did one gig, got signed.
Yeah.
Which was ridiculous.
Bad going.
Like, it was like, so it was like,
6 weeks later.
well, the first gig we had 3 songs and half an hour to fill. Yeah. And so we were like, well, one of them was Killed by Death, which we turned to Mowed to Death or something. There was Blown to Bits by Exploited, which we turned to Moan to Bits. And House of the
You can see how our
House of the Rising Sun that we turned to Shed of the Rising Mower. So we had 3 songs,
Oh my God.
which we ran out of time very quickly. So it was like, well, what do we do now?
And that got us a record deal.
Yeah.
Fancy that?
Well, we literally like, this one's called Feedback, so you just put guitars against the amps and run around with lawnmowers for a bit. We got away with it.
And again, that got us a record contract.
And we're doing that tonight.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you reckon people will be bringing chainsaws tonight?
I hope so.
You hope
I
so?
like that. That's my new favourite thing.
That's
I
your
don't
new-
know why that's taken off. I mean, there's always something, isn't there? It's lawnmower fans. It's always... Well, yeah, I suppose the rock and bite thing started the chainsaw thing, because that was a really odd gig. But there was a guy with a chainsaw at the back of the stage. That was quite nice. So now people have started bringing inflatable chainsaws. And it's like with like the new Dragon Force or something. But I really like it. And I keep seeing all these threads on social media about chainsaws. So I'm really hoping suddenly loads of inflatable chainsaws come out.
So do I now, because I know that you're hoping for it. So I'm like, come on, have your chainsaws. Yeah.
But to be honest, it's Lawnmower Deth fans. I could actually say, if you all turn up in pink tutus, and they'll all turn up in
They'll
pink
do it.
tutus. Yeah, it's great.
So we're going back to the HRH thing. This is the first HRH metal. Have you done any previous HRH events before? Is
Several. Yeah, they've got a habit of lying to us.
this a bit light?
Yeah, they lie to us, this lot. They're lovely, don't get me wrong. But they do, like, the first time we played Hammerfest, which was in Prestatyn, wasn't it, back then? So they booked us and said, you know, would we come? And it was a really good line-up and this, that and the other. And then we got there and found out we were on at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is pretty horrendous. So we played at 2 in the morning. It was a good gig, really enjoyed it. And then they booked us again. I think we did Hard Rock Hell then, because like we're one of those odd bands, aren't we? They'll stick us on a punk bill or a metal bill or a thrash bill or whatever. We seem to get stuck anywhere we fancy. So they booked us for Hard Rock Hell, and we played with Airborne and people like that. And guess what they did? They stuck us on at 2 o'clock in the morning. And even though they said they weren't, they said, oh no, main stage 4 o'clock in the afternoon, lads. It was 2 o'clock in the morning again. And we're like fucking ancient, to be honest. You know, we're 9 o'clock and Horlicks in this band. And yet it was 2 o'clock in the morning again. So that was twice they lied to us. So I think last time we played with Exodus, didn't we?
That was 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, that was 12. I think
Was it?
we got quite good
Oh,
at
because it was a
12.
Sunday. It was a Sunday night,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
the end of the festival, wasn't it?
So tonight we're actually on at 8:30. So I'm working on the basis next time the bookers will be on about 10:30 in the morning before they open the doors.
Yeah.
It's all better, to be honest. Yeah.
You'll be home and tucked up in bed way
Well, that's
before.
what we're hoping for. I'm driving home tonight. I'm going to work tomorrow, and that's full on.
Well, thank you ever such a lot for coming in.
Have you asked any questions yet?
I've asked loads of questions. Thank you very much.
You've actually asked more than most people do.
You have, well done.
Well done.
I think you should be congratulated for getting at least 3 questions in.
No, thank you ever such a lot for stopping by and chatting with us. It's been Rihanna for HRH TV, and I'm with Lawnmower Deth.